Hey everyone, welcome back to my number sense series. In this video, we're going to be doing the first video of a series of hopefully 3 or 4 videos that focus on summing squares. Basically, doing problems like this: 17 squared plus 34 squared, 21 squared plus 42 squared, all of these. And in this video, we focus on the first case, what I like to call the double case. And if you're very perceptive, you might have already noticed that the reason this is called the double case is because we have some number squared plus the double of that number squared. Double 17 is 34, double 21 is 42, double 14 is 28. Now, there's not much to this trick, and it is still a little bit complicated to use, but it does simplify some calculations very much, so it is still very nice to learn. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. 17 squared plus 34 squared. Now, we could, of course, just mindlessly list this out. We would get something like 289 plus 1,156, which would give us 1445. And if you haven't already, this is my reminder to tell you to please memorize your squares. Please memorize your squares. It is very, very important. Personally, I would recommend memorizing every square up to 35 or 36 squared, as all those are pretty important in number sense. Past 35, numbers like 37, 38, they don't pop up too much, but it would be nice if you knew them. But please memorize up to something like 35 or 36 squared if you can. They will also be helpful with these problems. So, without further ado, how does this work? 1445. Where did this come from? And I must say, it's not as obvious as our other tricks, nor is it as easy to use. But the key observation here is 1445 equals 5 times 289, and 289 is, of course, 17 squared. And we see that this works because since 34 is 17 times 2, 17 squared plus 2 times 17 squared is going to be 17 squared plus 2 squared times 17 squared, which is 17 squared plus 4 times 17 squared, which is 5 times 17 squared. So we can see that the sum of a number squared and double itself squared is going to be 5 times the original smaller number squared. Here it would be 5 times 17 squared, and that would be what we use to get 1445 as our answer. And here, since we know 17 squared, we could use our 5 trick. We know 17 squared is 289, so in order to do 5 times 289, here's what we could do. 289 divided by 2 is 144 with a remainder of 1. 144, so we're going to write 144, and then our last digit, since it's remainder 1, we're going to write 5, and our answer is going to be 1445. So you can see that even though this trick does simplify our calculations a little bit, it does require us to know some squares and be able to do a little bit of computation in our heads. So moving on to the next one, 21 squared plus 42 squared. Of course, with our trick, this is just 5 times 21 squared. And now hopefully you do know 21 squared. If you don't, please memorize it. It is 5 times 441. And once again, let's apply our 5 trick. You know, this is going to be a pretty repetitive video if you can't already tell. 5 times 441, 441 divided by 2, that's like 220 with a remainder of 1. So what we're going to write is 2, 2, 0. Since we have a remainder of 1, it's going to be 5, and that is our answer. Pretty much the same thing, of course, just swapping out the numbers. Next question, 14 squared plus 28 squared. Using our trick, it's 5 times 14 squared, which is 5 times 196. 196 times 5, okay, what do we do with that? We do 196 divided by 2, that's going to be 98. So our answer is 980, because there is no remainder, 980. Last question, 31 squared plus 62 squared. We're going to have 5 times 31 squared. And then we have, what's 31 squared? 961. So it's 5 times 961. 961 divided by 2 is 480, remainder 1. So what are we going to write as our answer? It's going to be 480, remainder 1, 5. And that's it. That is the entire trick. Whenever you are adding a number squared plus 2 times itself squared, just remember the answer is 5 times the number squared. And as long as you have your primes memorized, you should be able to take out pretty much any question that looks like this within, 5-10 seconds with a little bit of practice. Hopefully using the GIMP kit I have made, you guys can practice these problems. And that is it for the double case. Case number 1. I'll see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching.